Hi folks, Don and Bob here in Arborea Paleozoo, or Arborea Paleo Park as it says on the sign, which is where we will be starting as vivariums arrive in the park. 3 of them to start with. We're going to, as I said, start at the gate. If you've been with me all along, you know that I had built a sort of space for the revised, what we used to call mini animals. And it turned out it didn't quite work with the new revision. So I had to expand the building portion actually. And this is Archaeopteryx. We have several pairs in here. You can see that it looks not quite the same proportions as the raw vivariums, and there's a reason for that. Which is I needed to leave space in the back so the keepers could get in. So I added another 4 meters of width. You can see it with the skylight window in the top there, and the door that previously entered from the right hand side of the wall there is now shifted over. So that it works better with the access point for the vivarium. So Archaeopteryx got a glow up during this recent update. The models were messed with a little bit by the devs. I think they look pretty good. And in this view, you can see that there's some extra space. I elevated the vivarium so I could get the ground level where I wanted it for the outside, and then had to do some terrain fixing and some disguising to make it all work. So I've used some of the modular elements that came with the vivarium update to put in places around the exhibit and flesh it out and make it look a little more all of a piece, like this driftwood trunk and the birdhouse. These won't be functional in here, but they help sell the illusion that this all works. So yeah, sorry about the roof flash. You can see the door there. This lets the keepers get in and get to the access point so that they can fill the needs for our animals. And you can see them flying around there. They make much nicer active play. Transition now, and we are looking up the river, or maybe down the river, I'm not sure which way it flows, toward the entrance. We're heading for the second vivarium that's in here, at least the ones we're visiting today. And we are at the tail end, if you're coming from the front of the park, of the Cenozoic section of the park. And we have our vivarium there, pretty almost exactly simple in the way of using the vivariums. I did put some cladding on the front and the corners. You can see I added the sign to show our animal, Peltophilus, sitting there on that log, and covered the front corner posts with modular posts to help blend it in. I've used the facade background for this one to help sell the environment a little bit better, and gone with the mesh screen on top, but glass on the other walls, so our guests can see into the animals. There's an organ cactus in the back corner there that I added, and I put in a desert bush on the other side. And you can see I put boarding along the sides to hide the other burrows, leaving just the one in front exposed, as we're about to bend down and take a look at here. Nobody's in there right now, but the idea is that the guests would have a chance to see it. when they don't really have access to all of the sides of this exhibit. So we'll spend a little time in with our animals, doing some of their animations. We expect, since the devs told us so, that more animations will be coming for the animals. Right now they don't seem to sleep or eat, even though they will show up in some of those places occasionally. And I'm sure they got some other things in mind. They're pretty clever, those devs. So this little horned armadillo is a cute little fella. He will go up on the driftwood log, although I didn't add one here. You did see him on top of the hollow log. And they like a fair bit of space, so there's only 2 of them in here. And this is actually the same size vivarium as the Archaeopteryx one. It doesn't have the expanded extra meter in depth. That's all. So we pop up, take a look at it to give you an idea of its layout before going off to the next vivarium. This is over by the saber-tooth, by the way. And there we go. We are currently standing at the end of the Triassic section. We're going to take a brief glimpse at the intended future entrance to the Jurassic section and head off for the Cretaceous. We have the Gallimimus habitat on our left there. There's one stuck on the overpass. And this is our vivarium for Monarchus. This is a larger vivarium than the other 2. It does have that extra 4 meters of depth. And these animals like a large space. And this accommodates 3 of them. There's 1 male and 2 females. The guests have access to 2 sides and are reminded on both sides not to feed the animals because I have put a glass wall to keep guests from easily reaching into the habitat, and put the cladding, the low cladding on either side. It would be great if I could recolor it. That's something I think the devs have mentioned they might do. I certainly hope they do. The bars across the top there allow the heat lamps to have some place to hang from. I've used the facade on 2 sides, and because this is a transition zone for the park, you can see all the stonework around the edges, giving this a little isolated desert environment space for the Monarchus. Yeah. So we'll get a little animal time with them. They were hanging out in this back corner, and the way the vivariums work with their sort of waypoints for animations, you can see the one in the little log and the one on the rock in the back there under the heat lamp are blocking the 3rd one in the corner. It really can't go much of anywhere. You see it stopping there when it gets right behind the one that was on the rock. So this is something that's integral to the way the vivariums work. So it does occasionally result in some odd behaviors. As you can see, he's coming out of is coming out of the corner right now. But basically 3 paths out, and 2 of them were occupied, so the animal kept choosing not to leave. Doing a little bit of scratching there. This is the angle from the side edge viewing of it. Our male's in front. And they still don't want to go very far from the corner, at least not while I'm watching them. I didn't do a lot of extra in this habitat, relying on the plantings and rocks from the assortment that's available, keeping them toward the ones available during the Mesozoic as much as possible. And overall, it's worked out pretty well, visual-wise. There we go, jumping off the log. So at one point the devs were talking about letting builders see the waypoints so that they could more effectively place other things in the habitats for the animals to change the looks. More scratching. I may have to have these guys checked for mites. But yeah, so I like the Mononicus. I really like the dimorphism they chose for this. The male's got that little bobbing headpiece. The females lack it. They continually seem to have this almost empty bug pan, but that's, I guess, the way it is. And those are our 3 vivariums. So I'm going to pop up now to a view of the park so far. As you can see, it's getting moderately extensive. We're looking at the Cenozoic section in the foreground, the Mesozoic in the background. Next time we will have, what will we have? I think back to the Mesozoic for another dinosaur. Not another vivarium, sorry. My plan for this park was to use the Titanoboa over by the Peltophyllus, but my plan also required it to have its aquatic variation available, which does not exist yet, but the devs are working on it. Looking forward to that, and then Titanoboa will go into the Cenozoic section. Still trying to figure out more mammals on the outer park. If you got some ideas, mention them in the comments. Love to hear from you. I try to answer all comments, and I appreciate it if you like the video and subscribe if you haven't already. Those things encourage me to do more. Till next time, y'all take care. Be kind to each other out there. Dino Bob signing off. See you in another video. Bye now.